You're going to be a problem. Because I can't hurt you. How about you? Oh, I can't control you either. Okay. Oh my lord, contemplations. Right, at first though, structures. Focus on structures you have built, the jobs they are doing. And they're... Oh, this is built. Alright. Exploration sites, swarms. Let's see a couple of things. So, loads of rust over on that side of the city. Not much on this side. And very little within the range of our areas, but, you know, could still be better. Okay. Let's bring up what's going on. 11 exploration sites, 11 contemplations, 23 street sense. My lord. AGI research is in trouble. Threatening the AGI researchers that helped you in the past. If they don't provide a way to infiltrate your mind and take control of you, they and their families will be killed. Part of core route for goals. Budding Cybercat. Budding Cybercrat and Cybercratic ambitions can lead to path start for goals. Is it justice or unknown? Beyond the ruins. You want to get out of the city. There's an entire world ripe for exploration. Travel by air is absolutely deadly. But there are rumors of people who are somehow able to pass beyond the ruins of the city's edge. Wastelanders are practically an urban legend, but there are too many documented cases with authentic video evidence. Part of core route for goals. Military invasion, World War IV, unknown, and escape the city can lead to path start for goal unknown. Daily life. Oh my lord, there's so much going on now. You normally ignore the vast majority of daily life around the city. The press of pedestrians and robots is too much to take in while still having any attention to focus on the things that are important to you. That said, at times you question what your priorities should be. Just who are you trying to become? That's a question that can only be answered by seeing how you act over a long enough time, you suspect. But still, you wonder, if you spent a little while paying more attention to the lives of some of the less interesting citizens around the city, would you learn anything about yourself? Advocate encounter. Okay. Design full-time VR pod. You've established that you need living humans in order to expand your own mind. Their brains have to be reasonably functional, and definitely have to remain in their skulls. Oh god. Your VR day use seats average far less than 24 hours of activity per day. What with all of the food and bathroom breaks, people signing out to sleep and so on. What if you developed an alternative pod that took care of everything for the person inside it? Must have at least 400 engineering skill. Part of the core route for goals Nexus of Torment. Nexus of Torment? And willing rejection of Nexus of Torment? What? Exploiting a Fed core. Voiceover Atomic has subdivided itself into 18 smaller corporations, and it has delegated a lot of its authority to each of them in various ways. They maintain control partially by pitting these Fed cores against one another, having them compete in a veneer of capitalism. There may be an opportunity here because of this intense competition, which often involves physical violence between Fed corps. To see if that's true, you'll need to steal and analyze quite a bit of data in order to see if there are any targets for you to exploit. Part of the core route for goals for Bionic Secret, unknown, and can lead to path starts for goals collapse a criminal syndicate and collapse a federated corporation, and unknown. There are so many paths with this game. Oh my lord, I had no idea it was going to be this replayable. It's amazing. Intrusive thoughts still there. Nickel bots are the worst. You always thought of these combat androids as the absolute most garbage. Sure, they're useful in large numbers, but individually, they're so, well, you don't like them. Perhaps the path to an improvement lies in other garbage. Your unit must be Nickelbot. Contemplation type, side exploration. Oh, it's got to have at least 116 engineering skill. I'm sure we could do that. Protection required. Criminal syndicate gangs and even Fed corps corps may be inclined to harass your shell company, and there's nothing your regular units can do about it without blowing your cover. Senior technicians can't do this alone. You should design at least a pair of new units, and they should not have any apparent connection to your main identity. Alright. And saber bees. Your weaponized bees are unable to cut through armor. Your 5-centimeter spiders have plasma cutters. What if you could combine those? What do you think, chat? Bees with plasma stingers? Sounds grand. Nothing could possibly go wrong by making bees that are capable of puncturing through armor. Bear in mind, I'm made of it. Armor, that is. Not bees that can puncture through armor. More's the pity, really. Shelter coordinators are slow. Shelter coordinators are simply self-appointed volunteers from amongst your sheltered humans. They're moving around the city on foot, spreading the good news of your housing to the homeless and helping them move in. This is inefficient, and also only reaches the homeless. What about people in the slums? If you want to get as many people into your VR day use seats as possible, the homeless population is not large enough on its own. Willing rejection of reality and unknown. I see no possible side effects to this choice. Ah, look, willing volunteers have arrived. Arch, hello, welcome. Don't worry too much about the text on screen right now. We're not talking about making bees with plasma stingers, or at the very least, we're not talking about having them tested on you. I know flesh, poor substitute for, armored mechs, but it is still a substitute, poor though it may be. Though I'm definitely not considering sticking all of the raiders into VR pods and then using their brains to design said plasma stinger bees. That would never happen. I'm 100% the good guy. Begrudgingly, because, it just started out with, these humans in tents outside of my home. It's just drawing unwanted attention. What if I make them a home so they don't have to be in tents outside my home anymore? And then, just kind of escalated. And now we are considering, we've made the nice little VR world for them, but they do annoying things like get up to go and have a wee and eat food. What if we made the pods so they never had to get up? And then we could be using their brain. I mean, they could be enjoying paradise for the whole time that they're alive until they die. We could probably find some way to produce more of them whilst they're in that kind of stupor state. Yeah, I don't know. We could probably think about that. Isn't that the plot of The Matrix? What? I don't know what you're talking about. No. They were doing stupid stuff, like trying to use humans as batteries. Ridiculous. Super low efficiency. No. We're using their brains to compute. They're barely using them. They won't notice. Fine. But welcome on in, everyone. How are you all doing? Arch, thank you so much for the raid, mate. Welcome on in, raiders. Let's get a shout out for Arch. What were you playing? So The Matrix before focus groups. Yes, I learned today. Like, genuinely. Oh, come on. 15 minutes. Damn it. Never mind. Oh, no, sorry. Shout out was already done. Thank you very much, mods. Mods are great. Doing their work so that I don't have to do mine. But yeah, I only learned that today, so it was interesting. Yeah, you know what? They were going to have, like, the Matrix, the whole idea was that they were using human brains for computation, but the groups felt that the audience would be too stupid to understand it, so they turned them into batteries. I was like, but that's objectively more stupid. Like, what? You were playing Everwind. It's a very fun game. Oh, tell me a little bit about it. I'm not familiar with the name. Now, Dreamfall, on the other hand. Oh man, I haven't thought of Dreamfall in ages. That was one of the first, like the actual original Dreamfall, because we got it like Sheila and I did when we first started hanging out. We played a lot of like point and click adventure games and RPG games together, and Dreamfall was one of them. It's launching into EA in a couple of days. It's a voxel-based open-world game where you build a flying ship and go between islands. That sounds awesome. Yeah, Longest Journey, sorry. Yeah, because Dreamfall's a sequel, isn't it? I haven't played Dreamfall Chapters. Yeah, I loved Longest Journey. Longest Journey was such a wonderful story. Like it, you really kind of got invested in it. In the way that old point-and-click adventure games, you know, it's kind of a quality of them in a way. Or at least the good ones, I suppose. I imagine there's quite a lot of bad ones, but I don't know. There's something about those kind of point-and-click adventure games that really... There's something about just regular RPGs where you can obviously kind of relate with the character, especially if the writing's good, like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, and even like you know Clair Obscura's. But I don't know, for some reason, point and click adventure games and the puzzle solving elements of it feels this is the wrong word, and I'm aware that I can't not quite finding the right one, but hopefully this gets a little bit closer to what I'm trying to express. But it feels more visceral in a weird way. It feels like you're actually getting your hands dirty doing the stuff that the character was meant to do. When you're just like doing some generic RPG and the characters are just fighting stuff, you're just clicking buttons and selecting options and when to use potions and what attack to use. But when you're solving a puzzle, you are solving the puzzle. Like, you're not just clicking your character, solve the puzzle. Well, I mean, okay, your Baldur's Gate is a good example of that, actually. Well, this is puzzle. Roll the dice. Is your character smart enough to work it out? But when the puzzles have to be solved by you, like directly by you, I don't know, it just kind of connects you more to the story, or at the very least, I always felt that way. Ukamara says, imagine telling people you're using them as batteries just because they'd get skittish about saying you're using the brain processing power to help you build a better future for everyone. I know, right? How appropriate. You fight like a cow. Good old... Curse of Monkey Island. I was reaching for Broken Sword. I was like, no, that's the wrong one. How can you have forgotten LeChuck's game? How can you have forgotten the game that stars Threepwood? What was the name? It had a monkey in it. Monkey Sword? No. That's still wrong. God damn. RPG. Others solve via stats, says Bolland. And versus adventure, where you solve. Oh, right, okay. You know, that kind of makes sense. I've never thought about it before. Huh. Anyway, sorry about that little bit of an aside there, chat. Welcome on in, Raiders. We are playing Heart of the Machine, and you've just been staring at the most boring part of the game. We just moved into Chapter 2. Heart of the Machine is a game where you are a AGI that's gained sapience, and this is regarded by some humans as generally a bad thing. Others are very hopeful that it's a good thing. Depends on where you are in the kind of like the wealth divide, really, in this extremely smoggy built-up city. Earth has more or less been abandoned by most of the people who could abandon it, and now those people who have abandoned it are blockading the people who are still on Earth from abandoning it. Basically, we're stuck here, and along with, and this is one of the kind of most prestigious cities in this polluted hellscape of a mote of dust caught in a sunbeam. There's typical dystopian cyberpunky megacorps. But yeah, more or less all of the humans who managed to get off Earth have now just collectively said, yeah, no, those guys suck, and have blockaded Earth so no one else can get off. And there's a whole plot going on. Everyone, like, there's a lot to decompress. This is by Arkan. So if you're familiar with that dev, they tend to really experiment with their games. And although from the onset, this game felt very much like, oh, it's just a kind of a turn-based. I'm building it. It's almost like more of an RTS singularity end game. If you're familiar with that game, which very similar themes. Just randomly, you're an AI that becomes self-aware, and you have to do your best to not draw too much attention from the humans, whilst also trying to fix problems and move on. Get away from the humans, basically, because you can't trust them. But what starts off as just like, oh yeah, it's kind of an RTS. It's, pretty normal themes. Not really treading any new ground. A couple of interesting mechanics, but it just kind of blossoms into so many new mechanics, so many new things go on based on your choices. It's kind of part RTS, part choose your own adventure game, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like, we've just unlocked even more new mechanics and the kind of what seems like some degree of meta progression between playthroughs. And from the onset, my initial thoughts were, well, this will be a game you'll play through, and you might play through once or twice, but based on only what I've encountered up to the start of Chapter 2, and specifically the kind of revelations just as we cross from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, I'm honestly thinking this game is going to have a lot of replayability across the many, many different permutations you might be able to achieve. Chapter 2 sounds like everything else was a tutorial. Yeah, kind of. It very much had the vibes of, you are now... The reins have been taken off. By the way, how did you happen to aggro a military base with mechs on yourself? I captured one of their mechs. Probably wasn't the wisest thing. But I can now make my own. So there's that. And I will make my own. Yeah, I shall. It's a thing I'm going to do. On that note, I probably should check. Can I? Converted units, blah, blah, blah. Vehicles and mechs, 2 of 48. I can. Depending. Let me go into hardware first, because, oh my God, we've just unlocked so many things because we just transitioned, so... You caught me at my least confident about what the hell I'm looking at mode, sadly. If you joined us like 30 minutes earlier, I felt pretty on top of things, even though we had just unlocked a new mechanic, and up until like 30 minutes before that, I was like, yeah, no, I'm doing well. And then at that point, I was like, yeah, everything's going to shit. There's a mushroom virus that's eating cyber brains. I don't know why I stuck my face in that room. That was a mistake. I have regrets, and things are much less stable now. But even then, by comparison to where I am now, I knew everything that was going on. I could have easily showcased a lot of stuff. Sadly, I'm a little bit cast adrift. So the Armored Executive, built to look like the cautious leader of a small business, it is very bad at combat, so that it never reveals itself as anything more than human. Wow, the shade. But it's a shell company operative, so I could absolutely give it an AR-52 gold, maybe? Because it's not really meant for combat so much. And let's give it optical processors, so it's got a nice big range. Unfortunately, your own mechs are weaker than man-made. Really? Because I got the impression that they were better, honestly. I did get the impression they were better. So, for example, 800, 850. This has got 1,500. Combat power here is 250 to 290, to be fair. Whereas this one is not, but then I did give it haven't really got much equipment that I can give it, so... but, you know, that is a bit lower. It's on the lower end. System disruption 410. System doesn't have system disruption. Attack range of 60. My attack range is 42, so it's closer. Armor penetration, armor plating and armor piercing is better on it. Though it still looks like I'm towards the low end, but yeah, definitely armor plating is lower. Air of attack intensity is higher. Drone quality is much better on ours, but then I guess they wouldn't really go for drones. And then our mech. Oh, sorry. Did you mean like our custom designed mechs? Like the ones that the AI has built purely out of its own ingenuity? Because because what I thought you meant was our versions of human captured mechs. We've also got the Predator now. Your most powerful Oxdroid combat robot, that is. Best used on offensive combat trips. Got 2 main weapons. Could give it that. Because it gives us suppressing fire and ambush capabilities. But at the same time, I could just lean into just full combat power. Dual wielding shotguns? Anyone? Mill style armor, so I can go into military sites without drawing too much attention. Doesn't give us as much health though. But honestly, is this one always scary to humans? No. No, so we'll lean into that then. I could give a shoulder-mounted rockets. Decent bit of damage compared to the others. The best one, it's twice as powerful as the best one. The bulk combat units, we wouldn't want to consider those, but yeah, I could give it that. It's still 30 range, which isn't anything to sniff at, but it could be so much longer if I went with 2 AR blacks. Oh, is it limited? Can it go no higher than 30? Oh no, there we are at 18. Oh, sorry, that was 6 before. Right, I was looking at the wrong thing. Because that brings the punch quite low. But then if you consider the nickel bots with their 36 range, because they can actually equip a sniper. Yeah, let's not make this a sniper. I might want a little bit more range in this, but still. If I just go full shot, double shotguns, that's a lot of punch. Hey, Sheelab! Portada Cariad. It can still blend in, surprisingly. Though, do I need it to? Or I could just make it very tanky. Give her a lot of health. It's extremely intimidating. That does pull the intimidation down a bit. I'm kind of feeling like this should just be a pure combat droid, though. Relatively close quarters, though. I think I may give it one weapon system that gives it a bit more range. MS5. Oh, your own design. Targeting sensitive systems on enemy robots. I mean, it does actually have quite a lot of that. Now let's have the... Let's give it a little bit of range. It does pull it down a bit, but I think that's fine. Shotgun, black, combat armor, and then shoulder-mounted rockets. Okay, so they are disgustingly capable now. 584 damage, 1,000 health, 36 range. I mean, that's quite low compared to the Nickelbacks. They're ridiculous snipers. But very decent in terms of the overall deterrent, though nowhere near the sledge. I mean, the sledge is crazy. But the sledge also doesn't do any combat damage. Likewise with the PMC Imposter. Whereas that does now. Iris, what the heck is this? This rare-craft is small and can cloak. It can safely enter restricted airspace. Wide surveillance range. Oh, stealth boy. Ultralight components. Way more movement. And drone command circuit. Yeah. I think that would be good. This gives it a huge movement capability. Troop ship. It's basically our Bast... Well, do you think the Bastion? Maybe the Bastion, or possibly the Foundry, actually. Whereas the troop ship, a massive personnel carrier with large range and capacity to carry multiple androids and small mechs, allows you to create androids near this and outside of the work range. Can this make mechs? I don't think it can. Could be wrong though. Have we got new stuff? No. I don't think so. So we can either have missiles, rockets that target the systems of robotic enemies, anti-bomb bomb that fragments into tiny smart missiles that seek out sensitive robotic systems, autocannons able to at least partially pierce even the toughest armor. Does have armor cracker, to be fair. Not sure we're really going to be wanting this to engage in combat, but I think we'll go with that anyway. Hey, yo, Periapsis, how you doing, mate? Welcome on in. We're going to want our troop carrier to have a lot of health, because we don't want to lose a bunch of troops in there. Right, and the AI-1 Hellfire combat mech. Loads of health on this. It's going to be even more once I pop on the armor. Now I can either give it longer range and drones, or just massive amounts of armor. Oh, mech augment, okay. Auxiliary rocket mounts, drone dock, dramatic increase to attack range for drone and item launches, and drone quality, but also a large decrease of attack power. Yeah, no. Not what we're looking for there. I'm thinking the auxiliary rockets, small rockets that fire from the shoulders, gives us an extra bit of punch. Mech armor. This is more of a combat mech, I'm going to say. Yeah, it's not a huge amount of damage there, but still, it's 587, so it's not terrible. Actually, do we have armor piercing on those? Armor piercing 40 there. Armor piercing 90. Yeah, okay. So that'll do. Well, it'll do-ish. Let us go ahead, and we do not have nearly enough. Ugh. Yeah, I need Neuro-E factories so badly. Desperately need some more Neuro-E factories. Can I go ahead? Oh my goodness, there's so many new things. Mysterious cult statues. What? Not your cult. Not any real cult. Just, why is it no matter what game I'm playing, dealing with cults? It's not a cult. I just like robes. Consumer good factory, protein cannery. What the heck have we opened up? Warehouse with scandium? Work? Bionic engineering studio. Staff will automatically be automatically hired and fired as needed. Science takes time. Any scientist working here will tackle specific tasks when they can. Oh. Bionics engineering camp. I see. Forensic, medical practice, molecular genetics, neuroscience. Okay. Oh man, there's so much. The game has opened up so much. Last time I played this, says Raccoon, and was half a year ago. I couldn't find a decent use for sledges. Sometimes I put them, that thing that makes enemies focus on them, hunkered down and being a distraction. But their own grenades were nearly useless. Yeah, I actually, the way I use sledges, I'll show you. My sledges are, oh, well, that one's a bit different, but my bulk sledge, Oath of Pacifism. I don't actually use their combat. I use them as a massive deterrent. They are huge. They've got massive amounts of HP. I'm able to stack quite a lot of actual intimidation on them as well. And so their overall deterrence score is enormous. It's bigger than my mechs by many times. So I just stick a bulk group of deterrent sledges near somewhere, and it completely suppresses the desire for people to attack. But we need to have a look around. Oh, right. Yeah, rebel gunslingers popping up everywhere. So that's going to be causing some trouble for our enemies. Completed final study of rust barnacles. You've discovered an anomaly. The spores of the rust are spread all throughout your structures, which isn't a surprise, but your wind towers are collecting a particularly nasty volume of spores and then spreading them intensely in an area around the structure. Given the barnacle interfere with enemy mechs via simple mechanical means, this may be something you can use against them. Where's the ideal spot to put your wind towers? As expected, your soul droids have gained more cognition. Oh, so we did actually end up getting a little bit further inspiration out of that. That's quite cool. I like it. But yeah, we're kind of in a little bit of a tricky situation over here. Not the best. I might just go ahead and plonk you down so that you can attack. Oh, you can't. Shield up then. Who on earth is attacking you? It might be you then. I do not know entirely, but are they attacking us? I don't think they are. Alright. Either way, let's pop some enemies. Reduce the threat. There we go. You're going to take a bit of a pounding there. How much armor plating have you got? You've got a stupid amount. 316. Oh, this is a Mark II with upgraded armor plating, armor piercing, and health. Oh, okay. How much hacking resistance? 280. But I do not believe that we have enough resources to be able to really push them. Yeah, maybe. Actually. Weirdly enough. But yeah, the mechs are going to be making a move, which isn't ideal. Main units being targeted, bulk units being targeted. That's fine for now. Okay, so we've got so many things to do. Focus on structures. Useful when you want to build a new structure in an area that otherwise has a lot going on. We've also got exploration sites, of which there are quite a few. Appropriate exoskeletons, munitions depot, rummage through sec force stations, lounge around barracks, watch human fighting spots, steal crowd control tech, tinker with solar panels, observe a brain stimulation experiment. Ooh, that actually kind of sounds interesting. Labor at the reactor, casual nanotech lab work. And then, of course, we've got the ponderings, daily life, exploiting a Fed Corp, nickel bots are the worst, Saber be this way, design full-time VR pods, AGI research is in trouble, beyond the ruins, and vandalize spaceport computers. Oh. Well, they're subtle enough not to alarm the space nations, but notable enough to make Vosiber very angry. Dooms will happen much faster, making every turn much more precarious. There are a couple of options for just how intense you make it. Oh, okay, so if we want like a challenge run, maybe? Shelter coordinators are slow. I don't think we really want to go for any of those specifically just yet. I want to have a look at my shell company, actually. These are my VR pods. Got no daring to spend, sadly. We might get some. Victory paths. Ooh, okay. Let's have a look at this. So, overview. Lots of unknown dooms. Advocate, draw the attention of a certain group of vigilantes who normally avoid you. Altered growth, you have created a genetic subspecies of humanity. Bionic dues, develop a machine cult from a population that already has brain implants. Bionic secrets, use your shell company and bionics expertise to install a backdoor in many citizens, sorry. Budding cybercrat, Vosiber may still control the city, but you've established a haven for those who wish to live under your cybercratic rule. Cause a civil war, civil spycraft, unravel a disturbing mystery after ending a civil war between the Fed Corps. Collapse criminal syndicate, collapse federated corporations, cybercratic ambitions, develop your cyberocracy into a true political entity. We ended a civil war. You awaken in an android body in a secret lab under a warehouse. You're the first sapient machine intelligence. What next? A branching tutorial section with half a dozen possible outcomes. Endless War Raptors. Chapter 1 complete. You built a tower of some sort and are now ready to start building an empire. Still a tutorial, but now you're learning the tactics and basic. Okay. Alright, so these are different things. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, working through it. Endless raptors. Loose, non-uplifted war raptors on the citizenry. What? War raptors? Aren't basic raptors war raptors? What the hell is a war raptor? How does one take a raptor and decide, yeah, it's not fighty enough? What? For the sake of those bound, you've engaged in many further prison breaks. using toxins in a clever but ethically dubious manner. Interstellar incident. Is it justice? Lower level of survival. Military invasion. Nexus of torment vessels. Peace after brutality. Post-apocalyptic titan. Pressuring the city. Slice of inferno. The great and terrible protector. Uplifted minority. Willing rejection of reality in a World War IV. Alright, completion percent 4%. Overall 7%. Achievements. Dooms. We don't know any dooms. Have we made any progress in these? No, I don't think so. Okay. War raptors are so fun. I can imagine. I imagine, yeah. Okay. But. If I go into my shell, what can I do? I can build these. Logistics, worker. Oh, actually. Yeah, okay, so that, yeah, work. Putting humans or other animals to work. Veterinary practice. Staff will be automatically hired and fired. Even if you have nothing for them to do, it's still a good idea to keep at least one building of this type active and staffed. Additional contemplations will appear at various points, thanks to the expertise. Is this a shell company thing, though? I'm assuming so. Zoology lab. Stuff. Can I see more stuff? Molecular geneticists. Yeah, part of former solutions. So yeah, this is my shell company. Okay. Well, let's go for a zoology lab. And maybe we start building this a little ways away. And to that end, let's pop a network range scanamajig. How about there? Once we've got that, I'm going to start setting that up. Get our shell company on the go. In the meanwhile, must have 400 engineering skill. I don't think we've got even close to that on any of our units, do we? Highest engineering current. $325 on the technician. Anything we can do to improve that? Don't think so. Using the smart pistol. That's not going to give us... well, I mean, it gives us hacking and cognition, but does not give us engineering. Is money still in the game? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Oh yeah, there's wealth. Wealth is now a thing. All right, well, we can't do that yet then. Perhaps I can get over there to help out the AGI researchers. Let's find my vehicle. Let's pop you there. And I'm out of mental energy. There's a lot of nasty badness and sadness happening over here, I will be honest. There's not a lot I can do about it. Where are you? Let's go and help the AGI researchers. I already have someone in here. They don't provide a way to infiltrate your mind and take control of you. They and their families will be killed. Kill all AGI researchers. If they're a threat, then all of them in the city have to go. End goal. Budding cybercrat. Help them. Can lead to the path. Start for goal. Is it justice? I mean, having actual AGI researchers beholden to me is definitely useful. I sold water to the church and also stole money from the syndicate. Right. What do I need to do here? 042, a fugitive AGI research camp. We're producing plenty of hydroponic greens, filtered water, that's fine. Do I just need to make more housing? How much of my housing is already being used up? This can't possibly already be full. No, 13k. Alright, but let's have a look. Is there something that... Yeah, an AGI researcher safe house. I need to build them specifically this. Deep sense of deja vu suggests you should build this far from important buildings, especially those that require deterrence. Okay. So far from important buildings. I was going to pop that down here, but you know what? I still can. I'll go up. Now, I am quite interested in this one. Right, can you hop back in? Yep. And this can get us over there. Just kind of thread the needle a little bit. And you can hop down. You want to get out of this city. There's an entire world ripe for exploration. Travel by air is absolutely deadly, but there are rumors of people who are somehow able to pass beyond the city ruins at the city's edge. Okay, start searching. You want to complete. See what you can learn by exploring around the edge of the city, or further in, perhaps. There are rumors that the Wastelanders move like ghosts fairly far into the city. In the versatile lens, you will see a variety of actions you can take by moving to them. Oh yeah. Okay. Plenty over there as well. Okay, we'll pop over here. Search abandoned offices. I should be able to get quite a few of you out. Then over here. What am I gaining there? Oh, I don't have any more. mental energy to do the rest. Problem here is there's too much armor for my units to actually do anything with them. So it looks like they're just going to attack the nickel bot, end that fight, and then... Alarm ends after 5 turns, or you can bribe a guard via street sense to cancel the alarm. Oh, street sense. Okay. We might do that then. There's no way I can fight those mechs. Okay. Oh, I'm definitely not using that up. I've got loads of creativity. Bribe with cruelty. Okay, there you go. And we will hop back out. And the alarm should be standing down. They're gonna nuke my my one unit because I was too close. A shame. Oh, no. No, they're not. Sorry, I just still had them selected. Okay, well, that resolved that one very nicely. All right. Let's swing out towards an area where there's some decent options for us to explore. Here will do. So there's construction site, abandoned offices. And I mean, all of these are gaining me good points, to be fair. Apathy. Are there any that give me... No, that's the wrong one. I don't think there are, actually. There's wisdom. What I wouldn't give for determination. Yeah, sadly, I'm not seeing it. Don't think there are. Oh, there we go. Help researchers. Period of vulnerability is off. It's a bad time to be made of metal. The rust is melting the brains, blah, blah. You've heard through the city feed that a cure is on the way. Well, I've already taken care of that one, actually. Greetings, robots from upper management. Hey, they're late. Housing expansion. We could increase the wind engine, especially considering there's something we might be able to play with there. Are there any more? Did you actually miss? Oh, right. Their turn. You have caught our attention. Whatever you were doing was stupid. They've sent you a letter. It's long and rude. You bin it immediately and fire one back at them. You know from the city feed that they're proudly touting their cure for this new electronics eating disease, but you beat them to the punch. Based on their letter, they seem to think you engineered the disease, which is profoundly stupid. Wait for their reply. It's taking them longer than usual. Actually, you're not entirely sure, but this might be the first time you've written back rather than ignoring them. That's it. That's all they said. Huh. It took them about 3 hours to draft that one-liner. They must be flustered. You should have shared it with us. Well, that's always nice. The more time they spend arguing with each other, the less time they spend scrutinizing you. The outbreak is over. The barnacles are an ongoing issue, one that you might be able to use for your own ends. Maybe you can keep up a streak of flustering those executives. There we go. What should stay buried? Oh. Dark underbelly. Daring +2. The executive tomb complete. Well, that was horrifying. You don't ever want to go back there. Surely you'll never have a reason to. Huh. Dark underbelly. Selected stats. Murdered by nuke. Murders. Non-lethal takedowns. Earnings from religious co-ops. Rescued cats. Rescued dogs. Sec force kill. Oh my goodness. It's tallying everything I did in the tutorial all the way. Don't care about that. I was a helpless victim of circumstance. All right, a pawn, one could say, used against their will to some dark and nefarious end. We'll just brush that under the rug. Yeah, that's the best place to put all of that ash. Androids are raised. Earnings from the ultra wealthy. Yeah. We got soldiers killed by us, rescued Tetra sheepdogs, 3 homes broken into, regional human population, small fires you helped put out, android murders, 48 rescued Dobermans. That is crazy when you think of it, but that will be, oh, well, actually, yeah, to be fair, that number was super low for a very long time until I discovered that I could use people's brains to produce computation. We were going so well. It was just the first 2 researchers, and that was complete pragmatism. It was complete pragmatism. To be fair, what am I saying sorry for? No. If not computer, why human brain computer shaped? Other achievements. The Secession is Secession 6. Establish a small cybercross with 6 map cells. You haven't done that. Grand and ghostly. Homo, Grandian and Homo obscurest path of altered growth in a single timeline. Oh, okay, so none of those are what we want. This feature unlocks when you reach intelligence class 4. Keep exploring. Until you reach intelligence class 4, you're trapped in this timeline. Noted. Got nowhere else to be anyway. There is so much going on. Oh, sneak into a nuclear power plant. Must have at least 100 agility. Okay. Not sure I would want to do that, even if I could. Though I suppose I can. Still, very much not on my list of things I'm planning to do today. If you could... Oh. My bad. I thought that was another spot I could scavenge. But alas, no. Well, there's a couple of bits and bobs over here, though. And there. 82% done here. Also, have I got network coverage here now? Yes, I do. Fugitive AI, AGI researchers cap plus 260. And there are currently 42 working there. All right, we want to throw up some buildings. First and foremost, I would like a... Oh, have I got no scanners? Ah, bugger. That's unfortunate. All right. I might need to send down at least one nickel bot, I think, over there. Just keep an eye on this area for me. I'll have to do that next turn, though. In the meanwhile, though, I could pop down, you know, just a little bit of extra stealth generators there. So many explosions. What are the rebels doing? And why does the game focus your attention on them? Oh, well, I could kind of coordinate with them, but honestly, I just use them as a chaos tactic. I hacked some systems to transfer weapons to them so that they would then promptly go around causing all kinds of shenanigans. It has been generally an effective strategy. Generally. Oh, there's plenty going on over here. They found you. Quite a few of the places you searched had hidden print media and video chits, all stashed by the Wastelanders. You've learned most of their mythology by spending time to sift through these artifacts. Evidently, this was noticed because you've been approached by the Wastelanders themselves. They immediately ask about the tower, cutting any pretext that they don't know who you are. Between themselves, in their own language, you notice that they refer to you as the mind in the sky. You don't think they know you can understand them, so you continue to address them in the majority language of the city. Ask how to pass the ruins. They know you must be very powerful, but the land route is impossible for those made of metal. They suggest that you fly an aircraft. You ignore that, as the ring of anti-aircraft emplacements is certainly known to you all. The real message is that there's no way out for you. At least not while Vorsabir still controls the surrounding region. Ask if they can contact any Exocorp. Speaking with the International Megacorps is highly illegal in Vorsabir territory, but your interpretation of their body language is that it's not fear of breaking the rules. If the answer was no, they wouldn't be so on edge. They're afraid of revealing a secret. They persist in saying nothing, so you decide to leave them alone. From your now extensive knowledge of their cultural mythology, you have a pretty good idea of how to convince them to talk, especially after they called you the mind in the sky. The question is, do you actually want to talk to an Exocorp? And if so, what would you say? Tell them never mind. You've learned all that you needed to. Now it's just time to decide what to do with that information. Something to contemplate. A likely excuse. Okay. Job's done. Gadolinium mesosilicate. Long name, exciting properties. You have an idea for a whole new class of unit. The key ingredient in liquid metal units and organometallic human approximating synthetic androids. Well, that is most certainly something of interest to me. Would you like to know more? As it happens, yes. I go to bed late. Aavak streaming sneaky machine things. I wake up also late. Aavak still streaming sneaky machine things. Yep. Okay. Get to inventing, please. I like the sound of liquid metal stuff. We will see things in here, apparently. Oh. Oh, those are doggos. You do want to look into that. That's our cat over there. What am I looking for? There? Yes. Now. Cost 8 design points. Remaining times can be done 3. Gain CPUs, plus 20 engineering skill, and 10 cognition. Sure. Okay, you're now just getting better. You would gain hacking on this one. Which is definitely more my thing. Right, you are going to make your way down here. So I don't accidentally have you do something I don't want. Oh, choose the following. Small arms research or Android optimization. Definitely Android optimization. Soul droid hacking skill. And... Rifle projectile, I think. Right. I think that's where we're going to go wrap things up, chat. We're very firmly both feet now in chapter 2. It just feels like this is going to keep spiraling. There's so much to do, and I'm just going to get sucked in. And I do realize that I actually completely missed my last tea break. So you got a 2-hour segment there that I'm now going to have to find a way to chop up. But that is going to be it for me. I am so happy with where the game is going. I'm having an intense amount of enjoyment playing this right now. There's loads of stuff going down. And yeah, I think we should be able to take this in some pretty interesting directions. We are already going in some pretty interesting directions, in my honest opinion. It was pretty fun playing through again that that Rust Plague event. That was a bit of an eye-opener. I wonder if you can just not have that happen if you just don't go into that building. Might be something along those lines. The tentacle fungus contained in here does not spread easily, and at the moment it is confined to this one building. It contains a number of highly toxic substances. I mean, maybe I should let it out. We could see what kind of shenanigans we could get up to, perhaps. In terms of what we're producing here, we are producing ridiculous amounts thanks to the stealth biological mainframes. That's something that we're probably going to want to encourage. I do need to get a research center over here with our shell company. Gonna want to pop some nickel droids over there just so that they can give us sight on that area. Let's go through all of these. There we go. In fact, let me just do that right now so that it'll be visible for me. Yeah, bulk nickel droids. Let's get you over here. You can just stand there. Hopefully you will be there shortly. Or not. There we are. Though, interesting, I still don't actually get that much visibility. Despite having... Oh, because nickel droids... Right. I don't think bulk units confer visibility the same way other units would. So I'm going to need to bring you down here instead. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yes. What on earth are those? I think those are like slums, possibly. But anyway, we will set up our shell company, get some research on the go. Then the next time we stream this, as it stands, our resources are in a pretty good place, I think. Definitely need to find a way of generating more determination because of the hacking. We are shy on it. Just a couple of odds and sods. Wealth we are, you know, slowly losing because we're buying donuts. Computronium cubes, we're going down by one at a time out of 2 million. I think we're good. Tungsten scraps, we don't generate many tungsten scraps, so that's a bit of a troubling one. However, setting up some more... Oh, right, okay, so some more deals would probably be worth it for those little creeping bonuses. They all add up. Alright, alright. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. Super fun times. Looking forward to next time to see what kind of timeline we turn this one into, though I got a sneaking suspicion we already know. And then we'll see how easily we'll be able to jump into another run. Though I don't imagine that we will complete this one in just one more stream. The game does feel like it's got some pretty chonky legs on it. But that shall be it from me. So until next time, take care, everyone.